The situation is escalating overseas with Russian forces launching an attack in Ukraine. We're going to tell you where things stand right now. And back here in the U.S., President Biden is set to once again address the nation later this afternoon about the growing conflict.
We'll take that live during our newscast. Meantime, back here at home, a historic building destroyed after a fire tore through the structure. Katrina Weber explains how that building went up in smoke last night and how fire crews were on the scene well into the morning.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
Right now, Russia's military pushing its way into Ukraine. Cities and bases have already been hit with airstrikes or shelling.
President Vladimir Putin unleashed Moscow's most aggressive action since the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan back in 1979. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Kyiv with more.
Overnight, Russia launching a large-scale attack as it starts to invade Ukraine. A volley of explosions echoing through the night sky here in Kyiv. Russia's defense ministry claiming to have neutralized Ukraine's air defenses, but here in the capital, at least 7 cruise missiles hit a military base outside the city. Within minutes of Vladimir Putin speaking, it was around 5 a.m. local time, multiple attacks took place in regions across the country. Video from the Ukrainian border guard showing Russian military vehicles, including tanks, entering Ukraine just south of the border where Belarus, Russia and Ukraine meet. Russian tanks and other forces also crossing points in the east, south as well as the north. Putin addressing the nation once more early in the morning, declaring the start of what he called a special military operation in Ukraine aimed at the, quote, demilitarization of the country. Russian forces attacking a number of sites in the capital Kyiv as Ukrainian anti-aircraft fire responded and sirens wailed in the streets, waking the city's residents. President Biden responding to the attack, saying Russia alone is responsible for the death and destruction this attack will bring. With the country under attack, though, President Zelensky declaring martial law, urging citizens to stay indoors, cutting ties with Russia and closing the country's airspace. A video statement saying, "We are strong, we are ready for everything, we will defeat everyone because we are Ukraine." Ian Pannell, ABC News in Kyiv, Ukraine.
An international crisis. That's how political science professor at Trinity University is describing the unrest in Ukraine.
She says it is the beginning of a new Cold War, and the effect could reverberate across the globe.
I believe it is in the making, and I believe it has been in the making for some time now. We have seen that diplomatic efforts, even in other sections of the globe, have seen the United States and Russia positioned in two different realms of ideology. Even ideas about the Syrian crisis, some of the Middle Eastern crisis have seen polarization of ideological positions between Russia and the United States. I believe this is probably one of the most challenging moments that will definitely put the United States and Russia on a Cold War, back on a Cold War setting.
And Dr. Rosa Aliosi says that we're already seeing the impacts of the overseas conflict. Oil prices and gas prices increasing. Ukraine, the breadbasket of Europe, because it provides so many resources to other countries in the region, including oil and gas.
And that's why those prices are increasing. She says we will continue to see instability in the global market over the coming days. And you can watch the entire interview with Dr. Aliosi on KSAT.com.
We're looking outside with a live cam. A drippy day, a cold day, only 36 degrees out there at noontime.
And we're probably only going to warm up a few more degrees before it's all said and done. You can see there's still some water there on the lands. We've still got some drizzle coming down here across the city of San Antonio. So it's still going to be a little bit damp for a while longer. I do think as we get later into the afternoon, you'll see things dry out just a little bit. Let's look at the radar, show you what we're seeing. It's all very, very light, but that drizzle continues across parts of San Antonio as lifting north towards the Austin area. The Austin area is where they've had some accidents, at least a little bit earlier this morning, with some icy bridges and overpasses. We haven't necessarily seen that here. There's been a couple of spots earlier, but now that things are above freezing, it's all liquid. And as we look at the satellite picture, a lot of clouds. And these clouds really aren't going anywhere. We may see some clearing in places like Del Rio and Rock Springs a little bit later today, but certainly not here in San Antonio. 36 degrees, 32 Kerrville, 40 right now in Hondo. It's 34 in New Braunfels and 36 down there towards Kennedy. Of course, there is still a little bit of a breeze and it feels like it's 30 degrees outside. Just another raw, damp day. 24 is what it feels like right now in Kerrville. Feels like 40 in Uvalde. Some changes to our winter weather advisory. Still does include Bexar County, but I think the main concerns as we get into tonight, with a little bit more moisture working in by tomorrow morning, will be the hill country once again. Some of those bridges and overpasses, some elevated surfaces. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on that. Forecast does call for mainly cloudy conditions as we get into the afternoon, but still cold, up around 40 for a high. And then tomorrow, showers return, a chance of showers even in the morning. 30% shot as it stands right now, and more chances for rain as we get into the weekend. We'll talk more about that here in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you so much, Justin. A piece of downtown San Antonio history burning to the ground. A huge abandoned building that once housed everything from a brothel to a home for boys went up in flames last night.
The fire on Urban Loop near Interstate 35 in Cesar Chavez created a big challenge for firefighters. But as Katrina Weber tells us, the flames and smoke weren't their only concern.
The call came in just after 11 p.m. But fire crews had no idea at the time that the huge flames in the 500 block of Urban Loop would keep them up all night. Whether they hit the fire with water from above or from hoses on the ground, the flames just wouldn't die. It also sent up smoke that could be seen from nearby Interstate 35 as well as from miles away.
It's boarded up, no electricity, no gas.
Captain Gabriel Ortega says crews knew right away that the building was abandoned. Once they realized no lives were at stake, they took extra measures to make sure theirs were protected. They fought the fire from outside in case parts of the 17,000 square foot building came tumbling down.
It's all part of the job. I mean, we know this building is abandoned. We're not going to risk people to get in there.
The battle stretched on from the late night to well into the morning. Compounding the problem of a fire in a huge building has been an underground gas line that's leaking. CPS Energy crews had to go underground to try to cap it.
The main reason we couldn't get to it was because of that gas main and the fire coming off of that.
Firefighters say for them to put out the fire completely, the building will have to be torn down. It's a site with a lot of history, the former home of a well-known brothel and later a home for boys. Memories now reduced to ashes. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
New at noon, a victim is nursing a stab wound and a suspect is on the run. This comes after a violent altercation at a bus stop on the west side. San Antonio police are telling us that two men were on North Zarzamo near Calabria Road this morning, and at some point, one of them pulled out a knife and stabbed the other man. The suspect took off, the victim taken to the hospital in critical condition. At last check, police were still looking for the suspect.
And police don't have much to go on after they were called to investigate a shooting on the southeast side. That's because the person who was shot isn't giving them many details. Officers say they learned about the incident this morning. It happened at the Villas at Pecan Manor in the 6800 block of Pecan Valley, just west of Interstate 37. Police say they found a man who was shot in the neck and grazed on the head. He says he has no idea what happened or who could be responsible. He was taken to the hospital.
Police in Converse want to track down the people behind a series of break-ins at storage units. And this noon, a property owner is upping the ante, offering a $1,000 reward. Officers said that the men arrived in a silver BMW just before 5 a.m. on February 9th at the Rocket self-storage units at 8678 FM 78. Surveillance images captured them breaking into the units, but their faces could not be seen. Their vehicle did not have a front license plate. The back license plate appeared to be a paper tag. Anyone with information is being asked to call Detective Kay Clary. The phone number on your screen, 210-988-1539.
New details this noon. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office has identified a man that someone shot and killed last week.
It happened at a southeast side apartment complex. According to police, 43-year-old Ace Shunka was shot multiple times back on February 15th in the 3200 block of Bolmar Road. Officers found him in a parking lot. He later died at an area hospital. The shooter drove off and still has not been caught. It is not clear what motivated that person.
Still coming up this half hour, Spurs finally back in action tomorrow night. A chance for head coach Greg Popovich to get closer to the all-time win record. Larry Ramirez with that coming up in sports.
Early voting is still underway, but you are almost out of time.
Yeah, the last day to early vote is tomorrow. Polls open between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And if you're still in the dark about what's on the ballot or where you can go cast your vote, all you have to do is scan the QR code right there on your screen. I'll talk slow so you have time to get your phone out. It'll take you to the vote section of KSAT.com. Never can get there quick enough.
And if you're looking for a more in-depth preview of the March primary, you can check out the latest episode of The Breakdown with Steph and Steve. It's on KSAT.com as well. Stefania Jimenez and Steve Spriest are talking to local experts to get a look at some of the biggest races on the ballot. Election Day, a reminder, March 1st.
And if you're going to early vote, take your jacket, especially if you have to walk from your car to inside the facility, because
this is truly nasty weather.
Yeah.
It is, damp, cold. The good news is we're above freezing, guys. We're at 36 degrees. So we've got nothing to worry about as far as ice is concerned, but it's just going to be one of those damp, cold days where, I call it nap weather. Not sure if I have one in my forecast today, but it's one of those days. The aquifer is down nearly a foot, 662.8. In your pollen count, molds, mountain cedar, elm, all there, but they're all in the low category. When will it warm up? We'll talk about that coming up.
But the good news is all that firewood that you bought or chopped up and you stacked next to the house and you like, oh man, I got to take it back out to the wood pile. Not yet.
Hang on a minute. You got a couple more hours of winter right now.
Pump the brakes. A couple more days. Really, it's probably going to go through Saturday before we see any sort of significant warm up, and that takes place on Sunday. So in the meantime, it's cold, it's damp, it's just yuck. We're using that term again. You look at the time lapse, and you can see kind of the waves of drizzle coming through. We've had it off and on throughout the morning. And at the moment, still reporting a little bit of drizzle at the airport. 36 degrees, north-northeasterly winds at about 7 miles per hour. And the radar, well, everything we're seeing here is very, very light, lifting south to north. But we continue to see some of that fine mist and drizzle that has been around since last night. And that'll continue to move to the north. Thankfully, temperatures are now jumping above freezing in most spots. And so we're not too worried about ice or anything like that. Bernie Stage still at 32, Kerrville at 32. But most everyone else above that freezing mark. It's just the hill country, and you're at 32 Rock Springs and 30 right now in Fredericksburg. And in fact, Kerrville just jumped up to 33. So I really think that threat is really starting to go away. And as we look at the wind chill, it's down around 30. So that really is the big story here. It's just these cold temperatures as we finish out February. And you look at the forecast, don't expect a big warm up today. We're going to be up near 40 at best. And then tonight, we fall back down into the mid-30s where we do see some clearing, and that's possible across the hill country. Temperatures will be a little bit chillier. And then tomorrow, same story. We're up in the upper 30s, maybe close to 40, but we've got rain back in the forecast and a lot of clouds. They stick around. Here's the big picture. And you can see the cloud cover. We're really socked in. Now the clearing line is trying to move a little bit to the east, but it's slow moving. Places like Del Rio could see a little bit of sun today. We do not see the sun here in San Antonio. And you can see the energy that was producing some of the heavier ice around Dallas in northeast Texas. That is moving away, so things are a little bit quieter minus that drizzle. We're trying to get some more stable air coming in from the west. We can see that on water vapor. But I think that, again, rain chances start to return tomorrow. We see that here in the forecast. So this is around 8 p.m. Still shows some light showers, maybe some drizzle around to the east of San Antonio. And then by tomorrow morning, here comes that next chance for rain. I think just light showers around the area tomorrow. Kind of that drizzly, maybe a few sprinkles here and there. And then by the time we get into Saturday, I think the coverage is probably a little bit more. We'll see scattered showers around the area again, and that'll continue through the day before we see things finally dry out a little bit Saturday night into Sunday. And then Sunday it'll be sort of slow clearing. The skies will eventually reveal the sun, and then we'll get warmer temperatures next week. But drizzle ending a little bit later this afternoon. 30% chance of some light showers tomorrow. 40% chance of some light showers on Saturday. And I can't completely rule out a little bit more light freezing drizzle in the hill country. But again, I think impacts are really pretty low here. And then that nicer weather shows up next week as we head into March, guys.
Just got to get through the weekend.
We're almost there.
Well, we know Pop's not going to talk about it much, but at least some of the players are talking about trying to help him get to a record.
Yeah, I mean, they want to be a part of this team that helps Pop become the all-time regular season victory leader in NBA history, which is pretty darn cool. And you're right, Pop will be like, nah, it just means I've been around for a long time. But the young gun Spurs certainly want to flex on this later part of the season here. Isn't he? That dude's just always having fun, isn't he?
Is.
But yeah, hey, coming up, we got more Spurs. I can't spit out what I'm trying to say. And Antonian girls basketball, they want to prove that they are good and worthy of their state ranking. Coming up.
I think it's a huge moment for NBA. To be able to be a part of such a huge accomplishment, it's exciting for me. So we're trying our best. You know, every single game we're kind of going there, yo, let's get these wins for Pop.
Lonnie and the Spurs want to help Pop take over the #1 spot for all-time NBA regular season wins in big board sports. Coach Pop is 3 wins away from passing Don Nelson for #1 in all-time coaching victories regular season-wise. Pop sits at 1,333 regular season wins. That can close the gap tomorrow night when the Spurs play at the Wizards. More importantly, the Spurs are knocking on the door of 10th place in the Western Conference, which would qualify them for the play-in tournament. The Spurs will have to make a move with some new guys added at the trade deadline. Lonnie was asked if this team is gelled enough, even with the recent additions and subtractions.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think as a brotherhood, we're getting closer and closer as time proceeds. And adding, you know, someone like Josh Richardson and Romeo and Sato, I mean, they're great guys. You know, so it's only going to make the transition 10 times easier having players like that who are already, you know, fit the Spurs characteristics and personalities and whatnot. So I'm excited. You know, we got these 23 games. We're going to leave it all out there, and we'll see what happens.
Spurs and Wizards will hoop tomorrow night at 6 at Capital One Arena. The Antonian girls basketball team opened up their playoff run on Tuesday night with a 58-38 victory against Houston St. Pius. The Apaches took control in the second half by outscoring the Panthers 19-11 in the third quarter, thanks in part to balanced scoring. Antonian had 4 scorers finish in double figures, led by Carly Wenzel's 16 points. The Apaches are happy to move on, but they know the real test is still to come.
That was a great first round matchup. So just coming out, and it wasn't an easy game, even though we won by 20. Everybody had to play their hearts out to get that win. We've had a good look at a run every year, but this year being able to go again just like we have every other year, it's not just another year for us. It's time to prove who we are and that we are number 4 in the state.
The defending TAP 6A state champion Antonian boys basketball team also advanced with a 72-41 victory against Houston St. Pius. Xavier Martinez scored a team-high 23 points in that win. In TAP's 4A basketball, Church John Paul II defeated Pasadena First Baptist 79-22 Tuesday night. Point guard Desmond Dudley led the Guardians, charged with 19 points. One of 4 Guardians in double digits. JP2 will next face St. Thomas Episcopal from Houston in the regional final Saturday 1 p.m. in LaGrange. St. Thomas bounced the Guardians from the playoffs last season. And Tuesday night, Lanier defeated McCollum 63-56 in Class 5A by district play. James Rodriguez led the Vokes with 21 points, and they'll next face Buda Johnson in the Class 5A second-round action tonight at 7 in Seguin.
Nice to have some basketball action while the Spurs are taking their long break.
Right.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Larry.
Some newer Honda vehicles may suddenly break and do it randomly, too. Now a government agency is investigating the issue. Details in our next half hour. Live look outside with live cam. Is that sort of kind of brightening up out there?
I don't think so.
Oh, just
wishful
you know, I can wish, I can hope.
I don't blame you. The roads are still a little bit wet. We see some rain there on the lens. It's going to be a cloudy day. We're not expecting much sun today unless you're out west near Del Rio. That's where the clouds may break up a little bit. We look at the satellite picture and it kind of gives you an idea of what we're dealing with. This cold, shallow air mass has spread in across Texas, still getting some of that good overrunning, and that's kind of locking these clouds in place. The clearing line is way out there just to the west of Del Rio. Parts of West Texas now getting some sun and warming up just a little bit, not much. You can see the cold air is banked up right against the mountains. It's 62 in Marfa, actually one of the warm spots in the state today. You don't usually see that, but the shallow air mass is spread all the way down to Brownsville. It's 44 degrees there and below freezing across a large portion of North Texas. Thankfully, most of us here in South Texas have seen those temperatures warm above the freezing mark. Radar still shows some of this very light mist and drizzle working through. That'll continue for a couple more hours. I do think things quiet down a little bit this afternoon as far as the drizzle goes, but the temperatures are not going to warm up that much. 36 right now, 33 Kerrville. It is below freezing in Fredericksburg, 30 degrees there. 41 Uvalde, 43 in Carrizo Springs, and just starting to see the sun in Del Rio, 48 for you. Wind chill value still in the 20s and 30s. It's going to be a chilly day today, tomorrow, also into Saturday. And your forecast shows that we'll see temperatures top out around 40 today, then fall back down into the 30s tonight. And then we'll see some rain chances coming up tomorrow. Rain returns to the forecast. We'll talk more about that, how long those rain chances hang around, coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. The trial for the sole Louisville, Kentucky police officer who was charged in connection with the raid that killed Breonna Taylor now underway. Brent Hankinson, who is expected to testify, charged with 3 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment of Taylor's neighbors. Prosecutors say Hankinson fired 5 shots. 3 of the shots reached a neighboring apartment, and that's where 3 people were inside, including a 5-year-old boy. Hankinson did not fire those shots that killed Taylor, however. Hankinson was let go from the Louisville Metro Police Department after the March 2020 shooting. No officers have been charged with shooting Taylor herself.
Some newer Hondas may have issues with their emergency braking systems and may stop for no reason. The issue could affect more than 1.7 million vehicles. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says it received 278 complaints that the problem can happen in 2017 through 2019 CRVs and 2018 and 2019 Accords. The agency says some owners reported unexpected speed reductions, which could lead to crashes. Agency documents say the emergency brakes can kick in without warning and randomly. In 6 cases, owners told the agency the problem caused collisions with minor injuries. The NHTSA is investigating the issue.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention updating its COVID-19 vaccine guidance. It now says the interval between the first and second doses of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines may take as long as 8 weeks for certain people. Under previous guidance, the second doses should be 3 weeks after the first Pfizer shot or 4 weeks after the first Moderna shot. It says now extending that interval may reduce the risk of myocarditis, a type of heart inflammation in males 12 to 39 years old. The CDC says the shorter intervals are still recommended for people who are moderately or severely immunocompromised, adults aged 65 and older, and others who need rapid protection.
Ukraine-Russian crisis, the stock market tanking again today. It's down 661 at this particular time, but well over 600 points down. The Dow Jones suffering all week long. This comes as oil prices are actually going up these days, and the U.S. is also facing the threat of cyber attacks if the situation continues to escalate overseas. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Stocks are falling and oil prices are soaring. The Dow down about 700 points and barrels of oil now more than $100 each for the first time since 2014. That means prices are up at the gas pump. The average across the country, $3.54 a gallon. In California, an all-time record high of $4.77. Gas Buddy says every $1 increase in the cost of oil means Americans will pay about a 1.5 cent increase in gas gas prices. All of this at a time when the country is already battling inflation. The White House says they're considering potentially dipping into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
Standing up for our values is not without cost. What we're trying to do is minimize that cost.
Meantime, cybersecurity is also a major concern if the situation escalates or if sanctions hurt the Russian economy so much that Russian officials feel the need to respond. Potential targets include the electrical grid, communications and mobile networks, oil and gas pipelines, water treatment facilities, and the U.S. banking system. In recent weeks, federal officials have been urging private companies about the potential for Russian hacking through a series of bulletins that have included instructions on how to protect computer networks. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Still coming up this half hour, just up the road, another hot Texas college basketball team. Larry Mears with more on the Bobcats. Coming up in sports.
A rock band taking on a new role, starring in a new movie together. How the Foo Fighters wound up at the center of a horror movie that has a funny twist.
Hello everyone, this is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar News. Twitter speaking out after they say they mistakenly suspended a handful of accounts which were posting about Russian military movements on Wednesday. Twitter's head of site integrity tweeting that the company closely investigating the suspensions, but that mass reporting was not at all a contributing factor to the mistake. Meanwhile, Twitch has launched a new program. This is expected to help their streamers cash in. They're calling this the Ads Incentive Program, and as long as users stream for a certain amount of time with those ads running, they'll be paid a flat rate. Now, with content creators often facing difficulty in knowing for sure just how much income they might pull in month to month, this latest effort from Twitch hopes to alleviate some of that stress. And Allbirds is seeing their shares plunge in after-hours trading after they reported their fourth quarter earnings, likely due to widening losses that the company saw. Now, despite this, the company posted an earnings beat on revenue. They brought in $97.2 million in the quarter versus estimates of $91.8 million, a loss per share of 9 cents, also right on the nose with estimates. Allbirds saw a 23% increase in sales for the quarter as well. And that's Cheddar News, Business and Tech Update. I'm Baker Machado coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
Foo Fighters star in a new horror comedy filmed in the same house they recorded their latest album in. The movie features several cameos from other musicians, including Lionel Richie.
It's a different take on being a rock band. CNN's Rick Damigella gives us a sneak peek at the film ahead of its wide release this week.
Foo Fighters, you gotta get me a record.
It's our 10th album. We gotta break the mold on this one.
Foo Fighters find themselves in a house with good sound but very bad vibes in the horror comedy Studio 666.
Whoa, that's rad. The sound of this house is the sound of album 10.
So about 3 years ago, as we were starting to write music for our last record, Medicine at Midnight, this friend of mine came out of a meeting with some other movie studio and texted me and said, I just got out of a meeting and they said they'd love to make a horror film with the Foo Fighters. And I said, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's no way we'll ever do it.
This is not just a creepy rock and roll house. It allows spiritual entities to cross into our world.
The house in the movie, that's where we made our new record. We've got this creepy old house. Let's just write some silly horror film. And then it just sort of like snowballed into this full-length feature horror film.
What was it like for a rock band making a movie?
We started making it literally right at the end of making the last record. So we went right from one to the other.
It's weird. It's not what we do. Actually, it is what we do. We just do it in short form. So it shouldn't have been as weird as I think it's the talking part that makes it weird.
Here you go, man. Finish the song.
You did. Watching with the lights on in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Yeah, it's camp.
That is pretty creepy.
You shoot an album in a house that you come back and shoot a movie in a house that's kind of haunted.
It's
Wasn't
haunted.
it kind of freaky when you were shooting the album to begin with?
Well, I think that's the point of the movie.
Yeah, okay. that works then.
I don't know what's happening. It does look kind of scary, though. Let's go outside for you. We have some drops on the live cam there, still some wet roads, still a little bit of dampness out there as we've got some drizzle coming down. 36 so far today. The low this morning was 30, so we did drop below freezing for a time, but we're up above freezing now, which is good. Averages are 69 and 47. Records are 90 and 25. We've got some more rain on the way, some more rain chances. Take a look at that and the drought monitor coming up.